he takes the bishop. So he took it off this bishop. And he's threatening this pawn. I don't think he took his right away. I guess he played here first. Now he took the bishop.
Bobby Fischer is one of the greatest, perhaps the greatest chess player in the world.
And now he took the rook.
Bobby Fischer, United States, world title contender.
Now black surprised him with this one.
Bobby Fischer is an isolated man.
Bobby Fischer's a strange man.
People think that there's something wrong with the man.
And then the king moves. Takes the queen.
The great Bobby Fischer is here tonight.
Like a child, not a champion.
His social life is a vacuum.
The most arrogant man you're ever likely to meet.
If he takes back, he gets checked.
Looking for Bobby Fischer.
Whatever happened to Bobby Fischer?
Reclusive. Threatening this pawn, and it's a dead-lost game.
Bobby Fischer is searching for asylum.
It's really Fischer against the world.
And here, White resigned.
Bobby, you've given virtually your entire life to the world of chess. What about Bobby Fischer, the man? What's he like?
I don't know. It's pretty chess and me. You know, it's hard to take him apart. You know, just like my alter ego. You know, I don't need to.
But there are times when you get away from that chessboard. What do you do?
I don't do too much at the moment. See, I'm really tied up in chess. I intend to expand, but first I got to get the title. It's basically.
Bobby, what does it take to make a good chess player?
Talent, skill, patience. You have to study a lot and work.
What would your ultimate aim be?
Well, I'd like to be a world champion and keep it for maybe 20 years or so.
20 years.
Fischer is to chess what Muhammad Ali is to boxing.
Will Fischer beat the Russian? Yes, Fischer will beat the Russian.
Do you honestly think that you probably are the world's greatest chess player?
Right.
Yeah.
No período de 18 meses até o confronto com Boris Spassky, Fischer tinha derrotado, em alguns casos destruído, alguns dos melhores jogadores soviéticos. Fischer estava eliminando seus adversários que nem moscas. Iniciou uma série de 20 vitórias consecutivas. Algo inédito nesse nível de competição. Agora só faltava Fischer derrotar Boris Spassky.
The clock has now been started. It was officially 5 o'clock in Reykjavik. Spassky is obviously anxious about the whereabouts of Mr. Fischer.
Bobby was nowhere to be seen. And all of us despaired.
If Fischer doesn't show up by the time 1 hour has elapsed, he forfeits the game automatically. Oh, there he goes now. He's just played one pawn to queen 4.
You saw Spassky make his move, then he touched his clock, which turns his clock off, but turns his opponent's clock on. So Fischer's time is now ticking.
Well, Spassky is waiting.
Right, and waiting and wondering whether Bobby will show or not show. And there's absolutely dead silence in the hall.
Spassky is pacing, he's nervous, and...
Wait, here comes Fischer, coming on the stage saying that he was caught in traffic. And I think Spassky was visibly relieved.
And also perhaps pained.
It didn't look like this match would happen, but finally it happened. And
there's There's his first move, one knight to king bishop 3. Very non-committal.
Now watch, see Fischer turn around here?
Yeah.
He's checking to see that camera location. And now he goes over to protest those cameras being there.
There's Lothar Schmidt in the background.
Bobby said, I feel disturbed. I cannot have that, please.
Spassky remains serene and imperturbable throughout all this.
The first game started out with some minor psychological games in the opening, but then it calmed down, and the position that we reached after 28 moves seemed like a complete draw. It seemed like they're gonna agree to a draw shortly and move on to the next game.
All the pieces were traded. They got into an end game. Each side had a bishop and a bunch of pawns.
It was very easy. It was a dead draw. The position reached a very even position, virtually symmetrical.
And Fischer went haywire. He did something that hardly anyone would do except a rank amateur. He grabbed a pawn, allowing his bishop to be trapped.
He made a colossal beginner's blunder. He took a pawn, which allowed Spassky to trap his bishop. We couldn't believe it.
This looks like an error, but this is Fischer playing the move. There must be more to it than that. There must be an explanation. There must be some deep combination that we've missed.
И думал, что в крайнем случае он все же ничьей добивается. Но он хотел показать Спасскому, что он готов с ним бороться. Вот и он пошел на эту борьбу.
Mas neste momento, na primeira partida do Campeonato Mundial de 1972, o Bobby Fischer fez um lance muito misterioso, qual ele capturou o peão aqui. Incrível! Esse daqui é um dos lances mais polêmicos da história do xadrez.
Provavelmente aqui, estranhamente, o Bobby Fischer faz o lance Bispo toma em H2. E aqui não se sabe exatamente o que levou o Bobby Fischer a fazer isso, se foi realmente um blunder, como se fala em inglês, né? Um erro grosseiro.
You can interpolate a move. You can play bishop to queen 2. Notice that cuts off the escape square. And then all that white has to do on the next move is play king to knight 2, and the bishop is lost.
That was the shot heard around the world.
It was inexplicable. I still don't know how that happened.
Spassky won the first game.